In the summer of 1988, the world watched in shock as Air France Flight 296, a symbol of technological innovation and progress, plummeted from the skies above Mulhouse Habsheim Airport.
Air France Tree 09er Heavy, did you copy?
Too low, gear. Too low, terrain. Terrain, ahead. Too low,
What was meant to be a routine demonstration of the Airbus A320's capabilities turned it into a harrowing tale of human error, engineering marvels, and the fragility of life. Join us as we unravel the mysteries surrounding this fateful flight, exploring the events leading up to the disaster and the lasting impact it left on aviation history. Strap in for a journey into the heart of one of the most tragic chapters in modern aviation. This is the untold story of Air France 296. On that pivotal day in Basel Mulhouse Freiburg, St. Louis, anticipation buzzed in the air as the Airbus team meticulously prepared their aircraft for the grand showcase at the Habsheim Airshow. Amidst the backdrop of bustling activity, engineers and technicians worked tirelessly, ensuring every component of the A320 family aircraft gleamed with precision and efficiency. With meticulous attention to detail, the aircraft underwent thorough inspections and rigorous testing, showcasing the innovation and technological prowess that defined the A320 series. As the sun cast its golden rays upon the runway, the aircraft stood as a testament to Airbus's commitment to excellence and advancement in aviation. Little did they know, the day would unfold to mark a momentous milestone in aviation history, as the A320 family soared into the skies, captivating audiences worldwide with its revolutionary design and unparalleled performance. The aircraft was an Airbus A320-111, registered as FGFKC with serial number 9. It took its inaugural flight on 6 January 1988 and was delivered to Air France on 23 June, just 3 days before the event. Remarkably, it was the third A320 delivered to Air France, the pioneering launch customer of this aircraft model. Captain Michel Asselineau, aged 44, boasted nearly 2 decades of experience as a pilot with Air France. He held endorsements for various aircraft, including the Caravelle, Boeing 707, 727, and 737, as well as the Airbus A300 and A310. With an impressive total of 10,463 flight hours, Asselineau had served as a training captain since 1979 and was appointed to lead the company's A320 training subdivision by the close of 1987. Renowned for his expertise, he had actively participated in test flights for the A320, executing maneuvers beyond standard operational boundaries. Asselineau's unwavering trust in the aircraft's computer systems was unwavering. First Officer Pierre Mazière, aged 45, had been a part of Air France since 1969, accumulating vast experience in his career. He held endorsements for the Caravelle, Boeing 707, and 737, and had recently qualified as an A320 captain just 3 months prior to the incident. With a remarkable 10,153 hours of flight experience, Mazière had also served as a training captain for 6 years. At the time of the incident, Air France had only received 3 of the new aircraft type, and the newest one, in service for just 2 days, had been selected for the flyover. The aircraft's itinerary involved flying from Charles de Gaulle Airport to Basel Mulhouse Airport for a press conference. Subsequently, sightseeing charter passengers were scheduled to board, and the aircraft would then proceed to the small Mulhouse Habsheim airfield. Here, the captain planned to execute a low-level fly-past over runways 02, followed by a climb, a turn-back, and a repetition of the fly-past over the same runway in the opposite direction, runway 20. Afterward, a sightseeing trip south to Mont Blanc was planned before returning the passengers to Basel Mulhouse Airport. Finally, the aircraft would make its return journey to Paris. Despite the tight schedule, the pilots were only provided with the flight plan on the morning of the flight. and they received no verbal details regarding the flyover or the aerodrome itself. This particular flight marked the A320's inaugural passenger journey, with the majority of its occupants being journalists who boarded after attending a press conference and lucky raffle competition winners. These fortunate individuals had secured their tickets through a promotional event organized by local businesses. Among the passengers were numerous individuals, including several unaccompanied children who had never experienced the sensation of flight before. For many on board, this voyage represented not only a thrilling adventure, but also a momentous milestone in their lives, as they embarked on their very first airplane journey, filled with excitement, anticipation, and a sense of wonderment at the boundless skies awaiting them. As the aircraft ascended to an altitude of 3,000 feet, the pilots made the critical decision to engage the autopilot mode, entrusting the sophisticated system to maintain stability and course control.
Barometric selector knob.
Terrain ahead.
Hold left
Pull
click to
up.
lock.
Terrain ahead. Pull up.
With the aircraft now under automated guidance, the pilots engaged in a discussion regarding the planned flyover for the airshow ahead, analyzing the route, altitude requirements, and maneuvering specifications. They deliberated over the best approach to execute the low-level flypast over the airshow venue. Amidst the hum of the cockpit instruments, the pilots exchanged insights and considerations, ensuring meticulous planning and coordination to deliver a safe and spectacular performance for the awaiting spectators below.
Habsheim, hello. We are coming into view of the airfield for the flyover.
Yes, I can see you. You're cleared. The sky's clear.
Gear down.
Alpha Floor is a critical safety feature developed by Airbus to prevent stalling during flight. When activated, Alpha Floor automatically increases engine thrust to maximum power if the aircraft's angle of attack reaches a critical level, ensuring sufficient lift to maintain altitude and prevent a stall. However, in a daring move during this flight, the pilot made the decision to manually turn off Alpha Floor at a very low altitude. This decision, although unconventional, was made to optimize aircraft performance for a planned low-level flyover, demonstrating the pilot's skill and confidence in managing the aircraft under challenging conditions. The small airport where the tragic incident occurred was notably absent from the fly management maps commonly used by pilots in the local area. Adding to the challenge, it was the pilot's first time navigating to this particular destination. Without the aid of familiar visual quiz or dedicated navigation aids, the pilot faced the daunting task of relaying on limited information and situational awareness to safely guide the aircraft to its intended destination. This lack of familiarity with the airport's layout and surroundings likely added to the complexity and uncertainty of the flight, highlighting the importance of comprehensive flight planning and thorough pre-flight preparations, especially when venturing into unfamiliar territory. As the aircraft soared over the airshow venue at a mere 9 meters above the ground, the pilots couldn't help but feel the electric enthusiasm emanating from the cheering crowd below. Their faces lit up with smiles, mirroring the excitement of the spectators as they witnessed the breathtaking display from above. From a higher altitude, the forest at the end of runway 34R appeared as nothing more than a patch of greenery, resembling a different type of grass. However, as the aircraft descended to a mere 30 feet for its flyover, the true nature of the hazard became apparent to the crew. It was a dense forest with towering trees. The realization struck them with a sense of urgency as they rapidly approached the perilous obstacle. In the tense moments that followed, the cockpit voice recorder captured the first officer's urgent call. The crew swiftly applied full power, and Captain Asleen initiated a climb. Despite his efforts, the elevators failed to respond to the pilot's commands, due to the activation of the A320's Alpha Protection Mode, designed to prevent stalling.
30.
Take off, go run power.
In less than 5 seconds, the aircraft's turbines began ingesting leaves and branches as it skimmed perilously close to the tops of the trees. The intake of debris caused the combustion chambers to clog, resulting in engine failure. With no power to sustain flight, the aircraft plummeted to the ground. During the impact, the right wing of the aircraft was torn off, leading to the immediate ignition of spilling fuel. In response, 2 fire trucks from the Airshow and an ambulance rushed to the scene, with local emergency services alerted via radio communication. Inside the aircraft, darkness enveloped the cabin as all lights went out upon final impact, leaving passengers disoriented and injured. Many struggled to unfasten their seatbelts due to unfamiliar mechanisms, while attempts to communicate instructions via the public address system were thwarted by damage. As the purser and others attempted to evacuate, challenges arose, including blocked exits and obstructed escape routes due to trees and debris. Despite efforts to clear the way, the spread of fire and smoke intensified, leading to chaotic scenes of panic and confusion among passengers. Tragically, 3 individuals, including a disabled 14-year-old boy and a young girl, were unable to escape the engulfing flames. A total of 34 passengers required hospitalization for injuries and burns, while both pilots sustained minor head injuries, smoke inhalation, and shock. Despite the valiant efforts of emergency responders, the aircraft, aside from the tail section, was consumed by fire. The Bureau of Inquiry and Analysis for Civil Aviation Safety, BEA, France's Air Accident Investigation Bureau, led the official investigation in collaboration with Air France and Airbus. The BA's official report on the accident identified several factors contributing to the crash. The aircraft's flyover height was dangerously low, below surrounding obstacles. The speed was excessively slow, decreasing to reach the maximum possible angle of attack. The engines were operating at flight idle. There was a delayed application of go-around power. Additionally, the report suggested that if the descent below 100 feet was unintentional, it may have stemmed from the crew's failure to properly assess visual and oral cues regarding the aircraft's elevation above ground level, AGL. In 1996, Captain Asselineau, First Officer Mazière, 2 Air France officials, and the president of the flying club sponsoring the Airshow faced charges of involuntary manslaughter. The following year, all 5 individuals were found guilty. Captain Asselineau initially received a 6-month prison sentence, along with 12 months of probation, while First Officer Mazières was given a 12-month suspended sentence. The other defendants were sentenced to probation. Despite the guilty verdict, Captain Asselineau was allowed to remain free pending an appeal to France's highest court, the Court of Cassation. However, French law required him to surrender to the prison system before his case could be heard by the Court of Cassation. In 1998, Captain Asselineau's appeal was denied, and his sentence was increased to 10 months of imprisonment, along with 10 months of probation.